Equinoxe Télévision.
Hi there to all of you viewers of Equinoxe Television. It's time for the news. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. Our major stories this evening, viewers: the battle on which structure is in charge of scanning containers at the port of Douala is far from being over. After several back and forth between Transatlantic and SJS, the Prime Minister's decision was finally respected yesterday, and activities at the Douala port resumed by Société Générale de Surveillance, that is, as from today. We will be telling you more in this news edition. And today we will continue with echoes of February 11 celebrations in other parts of the country, especially in the southwest region. We will take you to Equinoxe through Batibo to Fundong in this newscast. Plus, our guest tonight is Honorable Njume Peter. He will be talking about the security situation of the Ndian division, months and even years after 6 administrators were kidnapped, killed, and only their skeletons were found in a massive but shallow grave in the Ndian division. Viewers, those are our lead stories. Details of the stories and more in just a moment. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your usual confidence. Youths of Equinoxe subdivision, we are in the Ndian division of the southwest region, have been told to be ambassadors of peace. The call was made by the divisional officer for Equinoxe as youths massively turned out to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Youth Day in Cameroon that was on February 11. If Equinoxe had a huge turnout, Batibo lacked pupils and students as only 2 youth groups participated in the ceremony. In the report which comes up next, our reporters Manjikan Gabriel followed the march past in Equinoxe, Batibo to Fundong.
Security was tight at the Equinoxe ceremonial ground as youths braved all odds to be present for the 60th edition of the Youth Day celebrations.
The way the population of Equinoxe they are out is to tell you that our security situation here is the best. Thanks to the administration, the Joe and his Etat Major, they are making sure that, human beings and their properties are secured.
The arrival of the divisional officer of Equinoxe signaled the start of activities with highlights including a replay of the head of state's address to the youth and march past involving the nursery, primary, secondary schools, as well as youth associations and political parties.
Preparations are positive. Mr. Journalist, you saw yourself the massive turnout, children in their uniform, the elites by their side, everybody to encourage. I'm also thanking the organizing committee for what they have done to see this day a success.
In Batibo, it was in the absence of nursery, primary and secondary schools that the Youth Day activities were held.
Even though it has been done in the absence of our youth population, we want to call on parents who are still holding their children home not to participate in National Day, to allow these children to come and learn morality, civic education and patriotism.
Just the ruling political party and the Cameroon National Youth Council marched past the divisional officer and guests at the grandstand in Batibo. Meanwhile, in Fundong, majority of the pupils and students who took part in the celebration had face masks on, even though the ceremonial ground wasn't dusty.
A moment of deep reflection on the distance that we have covered, and equally the contribution of the youth in the development of this country, Cameroon. The head of state, His Excellency Paul Biya, made a maiden address to his young compatriots, and the head of state, more than ever before, proved that he has a mastery of the problems and the aspirations of young Cameroonians. I consider this maiden address to what I call, in quotes, a social contract that the head of state has signed with the youth of this country.
Members of the ruling political party who were present for the Youth Day event used their umbrellas as a way of covering their faces.
Meantime, young people in Bangem, while commemorating the National Youth Day, raised concerns over unemployment, poor infrastructure, and the fate of their peers detained during their post-election crisis, warning that if these issues are unaddressed, the future of their community hangs on the balance, and they are counting on authorities to act. Immaculate Fogwe reports.
The youth of Bangem, Kupe-Maningoma Division, Southwest Region made their voices heard during the 60th National Youth Day celebration, shedding light on the harsh realities of unemployment, juvenile delinquency and poor road network that's stifling their progress. Despite these daunting challenges, they turned out in force for the February 11 parade, determined to make their concerns known. Our roads are deplorable. A lot of our youth are jobless, and this is greatly hindering the development of our area. If these concerns are not addressed, then the future of the youth of Bangem isn't assured. We are counting on our authorities to come to our aid. The youth are equally pushing for the release of their peers arrested during the post-election crisis.
We are begging on the President of Cameroon that he should help us and liberate those of our youths which are in the police cell, the prison, and so that they should be happy to celebrate with us.
The administrative authority also discussed the socio-political context in the area, indicating that peace has returned even if caution is taken. Peace has returned. You have seen how people came out from remote areas to celebrate this day. Measures taken by the government to secure the area are bearing fruit. There are still cases of resistance in Goti, but the state is working on it.
No matter how empowered they are, if they get into economic activity and they cannot practice their activities because of lack of peace, they will not be able to realize their dream. So that is why the head of state has called upon them to participate in the peace-building process of Cameroon, so that at the end of it all, we'll be able to have a country where you can move freely.
While waiting for their roads to be fixed and the Anglophone crisis brought to an end, youths in Bangem are focusing on staying positive. They are holding on to hope that their voices will be heard and things will turn around soon.
In Mosgo, in the far north region, precisely in the Mayo-Tanaga division, the celebration of the National Youth Day took place in a climate of mistrust somehow, marked by fear and insecurity. Despite the tense atmosphere, young people turn out are driven by their sense of civic responsibility. In several remote areas of the subdivision, young people were transported to the ceremonial grounds in military vehicles, an exceptional measure put in place due to persistent Boko Haram attacks. Innocent Azer with more.
It was on board military pickup vehicles that youths were transported to the Mosgo grandstand to participate in march-past activities on February 11, National Youth Day. Rising Boko Haram incursions accounted for this. Despite this, the young Cameroonians, escorted by military men, demonstrated their enthusiasm to celebrate a day dedicated to them. According to the mayor of Mosgo, though happy celebrating the National Youth Day, these youths are psychologically traumatized by the alarming rates of insecurity that has held Mayo Muskota and other localities in the Mayo-Tanaga division hostage. They are really tired and frustrated by the long unending insecurity. According to the municipal authority, his municipality is now hosting thousands of young people and their parents who fled Boko Haram attacks in their villages. Hope for them to return is slim, given that insecurity has taken over. We cannot escort them back to their villages once insecurity still reigns. That will be too wicked. No one can live in insecurity. Since they were threatened, they had to run for their lives to settle in Mosgo until normalcy returns. As stated by the head of state in his address to the youth, that he cares about them always, aware of their problems or preoccupations, and for perseverance to be nursed. Hope is reignited. A solution to the insecurity they face will be found for them to return to their respective villages.
Nous entendons.
At the moment, we await government's action to address the issue before we can escort them back to their villages.
Chercher à redynamiser ou bien temporiser ou bien éradiquer l'insécurité dans leurs différents villages avant que nous pensions à les accompagner dans leurs villages respectifs.
The Mosgo Municipal Authority hopes that one day the refuge seekers would return home to have full peace of mind and move about freely like before the start of the Boko Haram insurgency.
Still on the heels of the 11th of February to the Northwest region, where the celebrations took place under the shadow of insecurity and economic hardship in Fundong and neighboring Widikum subdivision, celebrations were held amidst lingering fears linked to years of separatist unrest as young people continue to face disrupted education, unemployment and limited opportunities. Somehow, in the following report, Mustela paints a picture of Widikum and Fundong in the Northwest region of Cameroon.
Cameroon marked the 60th anniversary of National Youth Day in Fundong in the conflict-affected Northwest region, with strong calls for peace, civic responsibility and economic empowerment. Nearly 5,000 pupils, students and youth groups gathered at the Fundong Municipal Grandstand, despite lingering security concerns linked to years of separatist unrest.
The youth of Boyo Division have to understand that they are very hard-working and are gifted, they are so talented, and that their place is not in the bushes. I therefore launch once more this fervent call to our children, to the youth who have been manipulated to pick up arms against the state, to understand that that is not where they belong. Their place is in the classrooms.
In neighboring Widikum subdivision, officials also reported an increased turnout of young people for this year's celebration.
The youths came out in their numbers. We have had more than 3,000 in Widikum subdivision today, with the population that have come out to host high the flag of the green and yellow flag of the Republic of Cameroon, and to say that they need peace. They are having the peace under the auspices of His Excellency President Paul Biya, and that they are not going to go into deviant behaviors of juvenile delinquency, but that they will carry on the spirit of development and the spirit of unity.
The event featured march past, chorus singing, ballet and traditional dances, with performers promoting unity and peaceful coexistence. Both in Fundong and Widikum, repeated calls were made for an end to hostilities linked to the nearly decade-long armed conflict as communities continue to hope for lasting peace and stability.
And now, besides the parades, the 60th edition of the Youth Day in the Douala 5 subdivision, to be more precise, was also marked by innovative projects presented by students of the Douala Bassa Bilingual Technical School. These projects demonstrate the creative potential of the young people who raise concerns on the lack of support from local and public authorities. Cedric Chakutio with more.
On February 11, 2026, the esplanade of the Douala 5 subdivisional office in Koto was transformed into a giant stage where youth wrote their most beautiful living poem. The unique aspect of this edition laid in the creativity of youth from the Government Bilingual Technical School, Douala Bassa, who presented 3 innovative projects, notably a medical alert system, a multifunctional cooler, and an intelligent house. The first one should facilitate the management of patients in hospitals. These small units can be installed in each room next to each bed. A patient with reduced mobility or who needs care presses a button and the device where the doctors are located will light up to indicate the room where the patient needs care. The multifunctional cooler on his part brings solutions linked to the challenges on the conservation of food, be it at low, medium or high temperature while on outdoors. Here is the hot compartment and the cold compartment. This compartment allows you to keep meals warm. Once the meal reaches the desired temperature, it heats automatically. The other compartment is the cold compartment. You put ice cubes in it and you can use it easily. Here you can recharge your devices, and in case of a power outage, there is a lamp you can use. For the intelligent house, it is a prototype incorporating the principles of artificial intelligence, which can be controlled at a distance through a mobile phone. The house is surrounded by security features and facilitates home management. For example, people with reduced mobility won't need to get up to turn off the lights. They can do it through their phone. Also, when the parents come home, they don't need to call anyone to come and open the gate. Projects like these can be counted by hundreds in schools. However, these youths raise the alarm of a lack of support from local authorities. These projects demonstrate the creative potential of young Cameroonians who are seeking support to expand their ideas and contribute to the development of the country.
In other news, the battle on which structure is in charge of scanning containers at the ports of Douala is far from being over as we speak. After several back and forth between Transatlantic and SCAS, the Prime Minister's decision was finally respected. That was yesterday. Somehow, as activities of La Société Générale de Surveillance are to resume soonest at the Douala Autonomous Ports. Babila Jonathan has details.
An official document circulating widely on social media has been confirmed as authentic by multiple well-informed sources, signed by the head of the Littoral 1 Customs sector. The report details the return of computer equipment to Transatlantic, the scanning operator at the Douala Seaport. The equipment includes 25 complete laptops, 3 computers without exchange units, and 4 modems, among other items. The document also bears the signature of the Transatlantic representative. This development effectively sets the stage for the resumption of activities by Société Générale de Surveillance. Despite the dispute over scanning operations at the seaport, Société Générale de Surveillance had remained connected to the customs computer system. With this latest move, the Prime Minister's position appears to prevail in the ongoing conflict between the Ministry of Finance and the Port Authority of Douala. However, uncertainty remains over the long-term scanning contract awarded to Transatlantic in January for 25 years. Meanwhile, the 2025 contract with Société Générale de Surveillance, whose timeline runs until 2032 following the installation of its final scanner in 2022, technically remains valid pending any further political or legal developments in the high-stakes dispute.
Thanks, Babila. That report brings us to the end of the first part of the news, viewers. Let's move on to talking points. Welcome back, viewers. Our guest tonight is Honorable Njume Peter. He's an MP from the Ndian division of the Southwest region. Sir, you are speaking to us, yes, after 6 public officers from the Ndian division were kidnapped, killed, buried, and only their skeletons were found in a mass but shallow grave that was some time ago. Thank you, sir, for accepting to be our guest on the news tonight. Can you tell us, how has life been in the Ndian division so far, considering that the crisis has been going on for over 10 years now, and Ndian division has been one of the areas badly hit by the Anglophone crisis?
Yeah, thank you very much, and for having me on your popular program. Life in Ndian division has not been easy. I think that is well known. It has not been easy. due to the socio-political crisis. Our life has been so difficult, and it's so difficult because, first of all, we don't have roads that are leading to Ndian division. The roads are so bad. Kumba Ekolotiti, though under construction, is still very difficult because a good part of it has not yet been handled. So most of our movements are through the sea, and sea transport is very expensive, and because of the high cost of the sea transport, things are also very expensive. And so it has not been easy. The economy has dwindled so significantly. The population, most of them, of course, who are farmers, cannot get anything good from their hard work. The cost of living has increased. Things have skyrocketed. The price of products have skyrocketed. The population is in pains. All of this coupled with the fact that they cannot even have time, to go again to their farms as they used to. It's sometimes so traumatizing. By the time you want to go to your farm, you hear that the other neighbor was killed by the terrorists. It becomes so difficult for many people. That is how life has been in Ndian division. So tough, not only for the parents, but also for the children. It has not been easy, but I think there is one thing that is very noticeable among the population. They are very resilient. They trust in their God, they trust in their government, they trust in whatever they are doing for themselves. There is that kind of cohesion, that kind of unity among the people, and that is what is keeping them moving.
Yes, Mr. Honorable, you reside in a Kondotiti in the Ndian division, and we know that the Ndian division before the crisis used to be an economic hub. Now tell us how the crisis has affected economic activities in the Ndian as a whole.
And to be very honest with you, when I look at Kondotiti some 8 years back, and look at the Kondotiti on Ndian division today, it is so pathetic, so pathetic. Equinoxe was a very, very booming area. Of course, it's the economic capital of Ndian division. Some years back, the treasury in Boya relied so much on the revenue from the customs in Equinoxe. They used to leave Boya and come here and come and carry millions. Our beach market, which was created in the early 80s, is what has been fetching us a lot of money here. Palm oil plantations with more than how many hectares of palms has been, in fact, the breadbasket of the division. Has been so instrumental in recruiting and even helping the smallholders to purchase their fresh fruits. The road from Kumba to Equinoxe was always very busy. Goods will leave Nigeria, enter Equinoxe, and you will find trucks and trucks and trucks upon trucks leaving Equinoxe Beach to Kumba, to Douala, to the northwest. Life was, in fact, Equinoxe was like New York. It was wonderful here. People were leaving, people were even paying money to be transferred to Equinoxe. It's a simple truth. Equinoxe was really booming. People would leave Nigeria, come here and do trading and go back after 3 days. People would leave Bamenda and come here to do purchases. Yaoundé, Douala, and the rest. There was life. The economy was booming. Everyone who was here in Equinoxe knew that he was in a place where he has come to make money.
And now, sir, we know that some months ago, the DO for Idabatu was kidnapped, tortured before he was released. Can you tell us the security situation of the Ndian as a whole as we speak?
Yes, as we speak, the security situation has not very much been all that very good, so I can say, because the separatists are still in the bushes, still causing havoc, kidnapping people, killing some. And this is even compounded with the fact that in Ndian division we are now also having the pirates from Nigeria. So while we are having problems with the separatists on mainland, again in the sea we are having the Nigerian pirates who are terrorizing, kidnapping people for ransom. Like you said, the duo of Idabato was kidnapped not by the separatists but by the Nigerian pirates. And he was there with them for more than 6 months and he was released. But then here, again, you know of the situation of the delegates who were killed, not only the delegates, at Equinoxe in particular, the duo of Equinoxe, the mayor of Equinoxe, the commandant the brigade of Equinoxe, the section president CPDM of Equinoxe, and others were killed by the separatists.
Honorable Peter, we just celebrated the 11th of February and youths were out to celebrate in Equinoxe and in other parts of the Ndian division. Are there some security dispositions or measures put in place so as to protect the young people and the other population of the Ndian division as a whole?
Actually, it's not easy, but I think the first thing I have to say is that we are the mercy of God. We are under His total care and protection. The good Lord has been so good to us, and He has been the one who has been protecting us all this while. There is no doubt there are some security measures that have been taken at our local level here. Whenever I'm here, of course, the military are there. As escorts, the military are there all the time to take guard wherever I am, accompany me wherever I'm going to. But I think the most important thing I can say here now is that for the security in Ndian division, Equinoxe in particular, the population is now collaborating very, very well with the military. Initially, why was this insecurity prolonging, or why is it that this insecurity is, still very rife in some areas? It's because the population is even afraid to collaborate with the military because there is betrayal. If you want to give information, even there right in the village, some of them want to have a good face with the separatists are the ones who go and tell them that it is A or it is E who told the military you guys are here.
Courage to you guys out there, and thank you so much, Honorable Peter and Njume, for accepting to be our guest on the news tonight. But before we go, do you have any message for the people, the population of your constituency, sir?
Oh, thank you very much, Anne, for this moment we've had together. It's been a pleasure. I'm so grateful that you thought of having me in your program, a very renowned program. And again, I can say that I'm always available. Such moments are always very good because it gives us an opportunity to be able to reach out to our population. Your program is so well known, and having me like this, I know that many people have heard from me or they will hear from me. And again, I just want to say that for the youth in Ndian division, they should have hope because the head of state loves them so much. They should have hope because our father, the Prime Minister, is really working hard to make sure that they smile tomorrow. He loves them, he's their father. I pray that the youth should be more united, they should be dynamic, they should be open, they should be more willing to do things, not fold their hands. Because I always have this saying that if you rest, you rust. They should wake up from slumber and move out like other youths elsewhere are doing. The future is very great. The future is having a lot in stock for them. And I personally, I want to say that I'm here for them. I'm their representative. At any time, my doors are wide open. My phone number is there. I'm ready to answer all their questions, and I'm ready to accompany them to achieve their dreams. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, and hope you open your doors whenever we knock. And viewers, we thank you so much for always being with us. That does it for this edition of the news. Our programs continue on Equinoxe Television this evening. Equinoxe Solar comes up at 7 p.m. and the news in the French language comes up in about an hour, 30 minutes or two. Bye-bye for now, and see you again tomorrow, same time, God willing.